Welcome back to the Heads Up Show, and today we're talking about football collectible helmets. First and foremost, this is a direct response to the countless questions that we get to our website and through our social media platforms where some people don't know what to expect. For example, the truth is, all of these are replicas. Even the authentics, they're not the ones that are worn on the field. Authentic is just a term that basically means you can put it on your head. They are not what's worn on the field. You can never ever think that when you buy an authentic helmet, it's what the guys are wearing on the field. So just to clarify that. The replica ones have this shell or this plastic plate inside that means you really can't put it on your head. I mean, you know, there you go. And the other ones like this, the authentics, it has padding and stuff. This is not something that somebody on the Steelers is going to wear though. So I just want to make that clear. The decals on these are usually exactly the same what the team wears, right? So that much is true. This is what the teams are wearing with the face masks and the hardware and the decals. Much like the helmets that are worn on the field, these things, they ain't perfect, okay? And if you really zoom in on your favorite player's football helmet on whatever team, I guarantee you they are not perfect. Well, neither are collectibles. So this isn't a video to bash collectibles. I'm just going to tell you guys what to expect. So, for example, the Speed has this ledge on the back. You see the decal? Well, yeah, it's lifted off. And I'm telling you, you could take a heat gun to this, you could take a hair dryer to it, and it'll make it soft and it'll stick. But in 10 minutes or in 10 hours, it's gonna pop right off, right? That's perfectly normal. We've seen this for so long now, we don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore, but some people don't know that. Even this right here, you know, this oval decal, you're taking a 20 mil thick piece of vinyl that's flat and you're putting it on something that's spherical, so it's curved all the way around. Somewhere in there, it has to bend, right? So if you take this decal and you see this little bubble and you're just like, well, that bothers me. Well, you can push it and you can get it to stay and like, oh, there you go, problem solved. Almost certainly it's going to come back. Now, these are from the manufacturer, and this is a big thing to remember. Let's use another example. So here we go. We have this wonderful helmet. Everything looks nice, right? I mean, the decals line up, but then you look at the back and yeah, the stripe does a little thing, right? It gets a little wonky. I'm telling you, a customer, if they have experience with collectibles, they'll get this and they'll be like, yep, this is dope, I'm good. If you don't know and you're like, oh my God, I spent $350 in this helmet, how is it not perfect? Well, these are not intended to go in museums. I mean, they're just not. They're basically, you know, they're toys. And just like they are on the field, this team in particular, or any team with a stripe, I guarantee you, they are not perfectly straight because the equipment managers that are working on these things, they have to do hundreds and hundreds of helmets. They're slapping them on there. They're making them look as good as they can in a short time, and they're out. One team that's notorious for decals and decal issues are the Seattle Seahawks with their gigantic decals. Now, the truth is the real ones on the field, they're hydro dipped and then they're clear coated, and you know, that would be like $1,100 for a collectible helmet. So Riddell wisely says, well, we'll decal them. This is a huge decal, and sure enough, you press it, you put it down, boom, you're going to get these little imperfections. It's just the nature of the material, but to most people, you look at it from 3-4 feet away, the thing looks amazing. If you really want something that you're going to stare at and be crazy particular, yeah, don't get a Seahawks helmet because it is very likely that there will be some sort of an issue no matter where you buy them. Another question that comes up a lot, and it's, I don't know, it's interesting to me, is We've had people who get upset that the decals cover some of the vent holes. Some of you might be thinking, well, that's a stupid question. Like, of course it's going to cover the vent holes. But if you don't know, you don't know. The truth is, the decals are made with the team's aesthetics and design, not the helmet. Every helmet is different. So you have the F7, you have the Vicis 02, the Vicis 01, you have the Speed Flex, you have the Xenith. There's all these different helmets. Well, the vent holes land in different locations on the shells, which means the decals, which are consistent, are going to cover some on some helmets and not on the others. So here's a Riddell Speed, and sure enough, this is a vent hole, this is a vent hole, and yeah, it gets covered. The more that you get into collectibles, the more you might know this, but if you're a novice or if you're just starting out at collectibles, it's a good thing to understand because, a lot of moms and dads are buying helmets for their kids, and then it comes and they're all upset. And the truth is that's intentional. This is how they're supposed to be. We're all good. We do quality control on all of the helmets that we buy from our vendors, or I should say from the manufacturers. And if they're really egregious mistakes, we reject them. But 99% of the time, they're really nice. I'm going to give you an example of a very, very, very difficult helmet to get right, yet Riddell, they mastered how to do this. Check this out. So this is a Saints. This is an alternate look of theirs, and it has this gigantic stripe. And this is a stripe, right? This is not hydro dipped. As a matter of fact, it's precision cut around this. Now, the cool part about this is that just looks sweet. The bad part about this is be careful if you own this, because if you're wiping this with a rag, it will, you hear this? Just that, like a rag will catch that. It's going to pull this off. Always go with the direction of where your decal is lying. Don't go against it, right? So just something to consider. Another one, which is, these are difficult to get correctly, but let's pay attention to the fact that the placement of these decals, they line up really nicely up here. They follow the curve of this Speed perfectly, and these decals are laid with minimal. I mean, these are damn near perfect. You're going to get little things here and there. If you ever see decals online, ever, anywhere, 100% of the time they are knockoffs. Doesn't mean I'm telling you what you should or shouldn't do with your own helmets. I'm just saying we only sell licensed collectibles, which means they come decaled. Green Gridiron, we do not decal these for you. What we do is we take collectibles and we upgrade them and make them look a whole lot cooler than they do out of the box. But if you want to make your own collectibles and you're buying decals, just know the NCAA, the NFL, for some crazy reason, they refuse to just sell their decals, so they force people to just print their own garbage. It's wacky. I think they're missing out on untold millions of dollars if they just opted to license and sell nice packaged of the team's decals. But anyway, if you buy collectibles from Green Gridiron, thank you. If you're getting them from somewhere else, that's cool too. If you're making them on your own, you do what you want to do. Just have a reasonable level of expectation of what these awesome things can offer you, and everybody will be happy. So if you have more questions or if I didn't cover something, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, cheers.